Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WCA 2015 European Pro Qualifier. It's time for some WarCraft 3. Joining us on the stage, once again from the UK, we have WarchiefRich. Rich, yesterday you had a win and a loss. How did you prepare for today's match?
Well, I basically just need to play much better than I did against Rudin yesterday, because I got destroyed by him yesterday. And yeah, I have to win this if I want to have a chance of being in the top 2 in the group.
All right. yAwS, this is the first time we're seeing you on the stage. Tell us a little more about you and your history with WarCraft 3.
I played Warcraft for about 8 years, I guess, overall. I had a big break, a 4 years break when I started my studies, but before that I was like a German champion for the EPS season 15. And yeah, I have quite a long history and I enjoyed the game and I still have the passion to play it, and for that reason I enjoy to be here.
And you're playing human, correct?
I play human, yeah. I started with human, I kept playing them, and I think it's still one of the wonderful races, and especially the Chinese players show how great it can be.
All right, gentlemen, best of luck. Please shake hands. To your booth. Let's start the match.
Hello and welcome everybody to day 2 of the group stage here at Gamescom. It's time for WarCraft 3. We're gonna see WarchiefRich again, his 3rd game of the group stage, of course. We will recap day 1 a little bit because what an awesome day it was. Remo by my side, of course. First game, Rich won 2-1 against Hate, Love, Anger. 3 incredible tight games. Then he faced Rudin and everybody said, okay, Rudin has no chance against Warchief because he's so good in Night Elf Mirror. And then 2-0 Rudin. So I think Warchief is very nervous now. He needs to win this this match here against yAwS, preferably 2-0 to have a chance to get to the top 2.
Exactly, and if you advance from the group stages as top 2, you head on over to the winner bracket automatically after this round robin format. And if you start in the winner bracket, you're already guaranteed top 3 spots, which means you are already guaranteed a spot in China, a flight to China, and that's of course what it's all about here. There's also money on the line, a lot of money actually. First place gets 4,000 euros, second place 3,000 euros, and third place gets 1,500, and of course the first 3, as I said, go to China. The 4th one, you really don't want to be the 4th one because actually
you leave with empty hands. Yeah, exactly. And if you don't follow the WarCraft 3 scene that much, you may be surprised why yAwS is playing. It was supposed to be Foggy, the Ukrainian Night Elf player, but his visa got denied. And because yAwS was here for casting anyways, and he advanced to the semi-final in the qualifier before, he replaced that guy. That means, of course, he didn't prepare at all. He had to get his gear yesterday. I don't know, man. Is he prepared for Warchief? I'm not sure. But it's of course the other way around. No one prepared for human. No one prepared for yAwS.
That is also very true. And Warchief, he is a guy who actually does prepare. But yeah, yAwS coming in here last minute. Actually, last night he was still strategizing and theory crafting a lot in his hotel room. And I think he may have something special up his sleeve.
Yes. Rudin, of course, the number 1 in this group so far with a 3-2 map score. Afterwards, Hate, Love, Anger with a 3-3. Then WarchiefRich with a 2-3 map score. So he definitely needs that 2-0 victory here over yAwS. But it looks kind of good for him. The matchup against Human is one of his big strengths. 73% win rate against Human overall. And of course, WarchiefRich. He is 22 years old, coming from the United Kingdom, playing Night Elf as well. He is Mr. Jera Cup. He won the biggest weekly cup in Warcraft 8 times. That's the record, of course. And he's the only player, together with Cash, the Orc player, who won it back-to-back. On the other side, we have yAwS. He said it himself, the former German champion from Andernach, Germany. 25 years old, very experienced, especially on LAN. He played the EPS finals, he played the European Nation Cup championships. He went to WCG in China and beat the legend Sky on stage. That made him very, very famous in China. And he still has that nickname, the German human killer.
Exactly. And he told us stories about that. Once that happened, the Chinese fans just rallied around him. That must have been crazy back then. And he may want to get over there again, get over to China once more and maybe recapture those glory days. It is, of course, a wonderful trip to win.
Yeah, WarchiefRich experienced it last year. He participated in the WCA 2014. Of course, he wants to repeat that travel. So yeah, the starting positions I guess are very good for yAwS if he goes for the harass. If he goes for the creep, it's very bad. Of course, it's close position, but I think Warchief is going to take that null spot over here. But let's see if yAwS is doing the big laboratory creep spot that grants him a big item, and of course level 2.5.
But he didn't get a power altar build like they always do against Undead. So it's pretty risky to do because he knows the Demon Hunter is going to be coming there.
Yeah, it is yAwS' first game of this tournament, so everything is open for him. He did a few practice matches before in the player area, but he did some theory crafting yesterday in the hotel room, and I think it's pretty promising what he thought there. So he's going the safe route as well. He's going for the null spot with militia support that gets him level 2 very, very early. What is Rich doing here? Oh, no creeping so far.
Now he wants to harass for now. Getting the last hit would be huge. He actually gets it. Big mistake by yAwS. That should not happen. The first blunder of today. And that keeps him away from level 2 and gets the Demon Hunter closer to level 2, and that is an absolutely huge deal here early on, because getting that level 2 with the creep camp, he needs to take the mercenary camp right now, and then he exposes himself to more harassment still, and his Archmage is already low, man. He's down to 170 hit points.
Yeah, not looking good for the German player so far. Very fast stack from WarchiefRich, but yAwS is doing the same. A little late, no lumber mill so far, no blacksmith, so we don't really know what's coming. But of course, that was a big blow in the early game. Good advantage for WarchiefRich so far. The Archmage and the human army is very reliant on that Brilliance aura from the Archmage on level 2. You need it for more water elementals, you need it to support the casters. But the Archmage is getting boots now, I guess. It will be 7 PM soon. That is, of course, boots time. And the harass from yAwS paid off. He cancelled a Moon Will, I guess.
Yeah, that's not too big of a deal, though. The tech for the Night Elf is a bit faster, by the way, than it is for yAwS. And yeah, he definitely needs those boots of speed. He's so low HP. If he doesn't get the boots and his opponent does, that's going to be certain demise for his Archmage, pretty much. But still, like, this is a map where you cannot, while you're harassing, simultaneously creep with militia. All the camps are too hard to do. Well, actually, you can take the green one, but it doesn't give you level 2, so it's not that useful anyways. So yAwS, yeah, he's in a tough spot right now. He wants to level up, but the more important question is, tier 2, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be tower rush? Is it gonna be one base or expansion? Is it gonna be late game? Perhaps even tier 3, but that actually never happens. There's many options available to him, thanks also to Twisted Meadows being a very, very large map. So yeah, anything can still happen, but yAwS, we know him. He's of course part of Back to Warcraft nowadays, and we know he hates riflemen, absolutely hates riflemen. So he prefers the more than one base play, but it's not always an option. For now he keeps on harassing, and probably wants to get some Ancients of Lore here when Rich gets to tier 2.
Yeah, a little too early for that, but look at the 6 o'clock position. There's a proxy shop, so this might result in more harass, so the way to the shop for him is a little closer than it would be in his main base or an expansion, but we don't see any signs for expansion. Okay, there is a lumber mill. Maybe this is going to be a tower rush with a Beastmaster second, maybe even a Firelord second, we don't know. That would be surprising, I guess. Oh, Panda second for WarchiefRich, that's an obvious choice. Good damage versus low HP units, and of course towers and buildings in general.
Yeah, he's getting masonry upgrade already. I think this is definitely signifying a tower rush with the Arcane Vault. Like, when it's down there, it's probably not going to get scouted, and he's going to see the Ivory Towers and second hero and stuff a lot later. But yAwS doesn't really have the resources. He wants to have a second hero. He wants to get a Sanctum. He wants to get Ivory Towers. This is very expensive. He might actually sell his TP. Yes, he did. Sold his TP for 175 gold. Is he gonna tower rush here with a level 1 Archmage?
Yeah, that's gonna be very, very hard without the aura, without level 2 Water Elemental. That makes a very big difference. But I think the goal for yAwS should be, don't let Warchief reach the late game, because he is so strong with bears. There's a reason why he's called Mr. Bear Mirror. And here is the Naga second. Okay, you can do that. And of course, if you pick the Naga, you want to do as much damage as possible in the first minute she appears. But of course, the Panda was there a little early. I think Warchief is well prepared for this. The Engine of War is not in the base, but there are 2 Engines of Lore. The shop is almost ready. No tier 3 tech yet, and here we come, Tower Rush.
All right, where's he going to put the ivories? This is important. Puts them pretty far forward. This exposes them to a lot of harassment when they're constructed, but also when they come up, they deal a lot of damage. But for now, the Panda's being focused. Militia has been called. Naga, by the way, also taking a lot of hits, but she does have the boots. They've been transferred from the Archmage. So she's actually pretty mobile and survivable. Panda, in the meanwhile, needs to be careful. Moonwell's healing him up, but the Moonwells are almost all dry. Now, finally going for the first guard tower. It's being repaired to archers, and the Panda, is it gonna be enough? He gets it. No, yes, he does, but the Panda is gonna pay the price.
Yeah, the Panda was trapped and down he goes. Second guard tower is being attacked. So much damage from all this piercing coming in. Double level up for the heroes. We have evasion, we have the brilliance aura. Finally, is that one tower coming up? That is so important for yAwS. Mass attack now from the Night Elf, but mass repair coming in for yAwS. And here's the surround of the Demon Hunter probably. Is he able to escape? Yes, he is. Tower going down. Warchief still able to defend this. Engine of War joining the fray. Second Engine of War is about to come out. Third one is about to go up. Panda will be back in a second. Naga is low. This is not looking good for yAwS at all.
I think this was just held successfully from the Englishman. Yeah. And that one choice to uproot the Ancient of Lore made such a big difference, having a huge role in killing 2 of those towers. And once the towers are up, the guard towers, that's when it really starts to turn. But he didn't allow that to happen. Yes, he lost his level 1 hero, his second hero, but then again, it's only level 1. He will be right back. And now Rich in a fantastic position.
Definitely. He waited until the Dryads pop out of the Ancient of Lore to have this spell, and now he's picking up unit after unit with his slow. Of course, it's very hard to run away from the Night Elf. Here comes WarchiefRich into the main base of yAwS, but there's not that much to gain. He's researching defense now, a little too late in my opinion. He should have had that for the tower rush. But what is yAwS going to do now? For the next fight, he definitely needs level 3, but I don't think WarchiefRich is giving him the time to creep there.
I think Warchief is absolutely fine with hanging back here. He's like, even though his Demon Hunter is being aggressive, I think this is actually still playing defensive because he's just getting time for his Panda. That's what he wants. Yeah. He knows once he gets the Panda to level 3, he's on a good way to late game, and in super late game the Panda is gonna be way more valuable than the Naga. In most cases, of course, there are exceptions and we see more ivories, but this time it's gonna be for an Expo.
That's right. yAwS switching his tactics now. It's going to go for the late game, but it's going to be hard. WarchiefRich on a good way to tier 3. He has the first bears, he has the adept upgrade for the bear, so there is rejuvenation on his first hero. Lots and lots of healing from that bear spell, so it's pretty hard to get that expo up now. Excellent scouting from the Demon Hunter, by the way. Very good awareness from Warchief, very good multitasking. He's keeping track of everything the human is doing. Now the interesting thing is, how's he gonna respond? Pressure right now with a level 2 Panda, keep on creeping, or expand himself. I think a counter expansion is the safest play, and we see a Wisp getting in position at the left part of the map. He doesn't have the resources right now, but that might just become a Tree of Life. We will see it in a second. First, let's take a look at the item. Gets Boots of Quetzalcoatl on the Panda, and the human in the meantime got the Pendant of Energy. That's always something nice to receive. Very good, especially for the Naga later on when the Fork Lightning gets strong. The second spell of the Naga, of course. Panda is creeping, almost level 2. The Boots, definitely an item to sell. But yeah, this Wisp, man, it's going to be an expansion very, very soon. And we saw a lot of late games on Twisted Meadows between Night Elf and human, and that's always very, very promising for awesome games. We see the bear master upgrade only takes about 30 seconds, and then WarchiefRich has his favorite unit on the field. Yeah, and it is going to be a counter expansion. Rich playing it safe. He doesn't want to rely on being able to pressure his opponent too much right now. And of course, this is Twisted Meadows. It's pretty easy to get a Panda to level 5 or close to level 5. And once that guy's level 5 or maybe even 6 later on, he is just a beast. He's a beast on level 3, but it becomes more beastly as the game continues. That's right. And more creeping from yAwS. Almost level 3 now for the Archmage. What item did he get? I think he sold it already. Okay, we might see, I don't know, some fancy shit like tanks or gyrocopters or something. Yeah, once it becomes late game on Twisted with a lot of expansions, the humans oftentimes turn to tier 3 and tank harassment of the opponent expansions, and griffins and gyros and bears and talons and hippos. It can become, well, a slugfest of basically the entire tech tree, which is always fun to see. And now finally we do see the expansion from Rich. Yes. I think that could have been a little bit sooner,
But anyways, it's not too late by any means. yAwS' expansion is up, but that's of course because he is human and they can power build that thing. Now finally getting level 3. This took so long. Finding the Scourge Bone Chimes. If he ever goes into Knights, it's nice, but usually no one ever does.
No, I don't think you should do that. All the units are so low. If Warchief catches him now, it's going to be brutal, but I think he should rely onto the strength of his base, the towers and everything he has there, militia support whatsoever. But from the Night Elf on TM, from the past, we learned that it's very easy to do mass expansion, almost StarCraft-like. Of course, the master of that strategy is the legend himself, Moon, the 5th race, as we call him. Let's see if WarchiefRich is able to adapt from that.
Right now we have a Zeppelin for yAwS. So he's gonna go for harassment. This has two purposes. Firstly, he wants to keep his opponent away from his base, but he's just a little late. Rich is attacking the main right now. And secondly, he wants to keep the Panda from leveling too much, by creeping of course. And now the bears are attacking the main. There are 3 guard towers already, 4th one soon to come, but only 1 is basically in position, so these bears are just so durable, and the Breath of Fire, we already see it doing work.
Yeah, the altar is down, and now the base has opened, not sealed off anymore. yAwS is not going for the expansion harass. I don't know what he's doing. He's still flying with his Zeppelin, losing a lot of time here. In the meantime, WarchiefRich wreaking havoc in the main base of yAwS. He's losing 1 peasant after another. 1 guard tower down. Now finally, the Night Elf units are in range. He's losing a bear to the towers. That should never happen.
He doesn't have a staff of preservation actually, level 4 now for the Panda, but this is so much economic damage, and yAwS, it just seems like he's slow to do anything. It seemed like he didn't know what to exactly do in that situation, and then it took him so much time, and now he's losing all of his towers, man. And once the towers are down, at some point he has to TP, but without the towers, is his army even strong enough to defend?
He wants to kill the expansion now. Is there a town portal for WarchiefRich? Let's check. Oh, what's he doing? Yeah, there is a town portal, so he will save that expansion most likely. There are a lot of damaged units here, so easy pickings for the Panda, but he lets it die.
It's only 28 supply for yAwS. I don't know how he's supposed to fight this off. I don't think he can TP in here and defend. I think he's just gonna die.
Yeah, the keep is down, his main base is down, so both players are down to 1 gold mine each. And this one is of course well protected so far, so he can fall back onto it. And the keep is down. No tier 2 anymore for yAwS, and he has no production buildings. No sanctum, no workshop. Ah, he built this, the sanctum in the last second. So yeah, he is able to get some casters.
And now TP back from Rich, and yeah, we just see his forces demolishing those of yAwS. He needs to upload into the Zeppelin, but it's being focused by the archers, and it falls. He needs to TP, or he loses everything here. Probably gonna transfer the TP over to the Naga. He doesn't actually have a TP!
GG, well played from yAwS.
Oh my God.
WarchiefRich wins the first one!
And that was kind of the dominance we were missing yesterday from Warchief in the Night of Mirror. He played everything perfectly.
Yeah, that's right. I think what broke yAwS's neck was the creep jack very early on at the null spot. He really needed that level 2 very early. He was denied by the Demon Hunter, and so his entire game plan fell apart. And then Warchief just snowballed, I guess. And in the end, there was nothing he can do. The tower rush failed, of course. Very well protected by Warchief. Lots of engines of war. The Panda was well leveled, I guess. It was okay. So yeah.
Actually, the Panda and the tower rush was still level 1, but he got off like 2, maybe even 3 breaths of fire, and the focus was just superb. He ignored the footmen, exactly what you need to do. He ignored the peasants. He went for the heroes and for the towers. First for the heroes to keep him busy, and when the towers were just about to complete, then he killed them. Perfect uprooting, perfect micro. And it's not, honestly, it looks easy when Rich does it, but it isn't. And nowadays, so few humans only play that tower rush anymore, and I think yAwS was banking on it, that, you know, that's not his meta game, he may not know what to do, but he absolutely does, and he absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I think WarchiefRich knew that yAwS was not going to take the big fight, 70-70 or 80-80 fights. So yeah, we are on Echo Isles now, everybody. We have WarchiefRich in the upper left. We saw him yesterday. His results were 2-1 win versus Hate Love Anger and a 0-2 loss against Ruden. So he really needs that 2-0 win against yAwS here to claim his chance for the top 2 spot that grants him the access to the upper bracket of this beautiful tournament we've seen, and in the upper right, Mr. yAwS, Mark Förster from Germany. The human player. This is his first match, so I think he expects to lose versus Warchief. So the big games will be against Ruden and Hate Love Anger tomorrow. But if he gets a map here, this would be huge for him.
Yeah, absolutely. In this format, in the round robin, every map counts. As you said, like Ruden, HLA, and Rich, they all have the 1-to-1 series score. But because of the maps, it's already much better for Ruden than it is for Rich. So yeah, maps absolutely do matter. And speaking of maps, we're on Echo Isles, the polar opposite of Twisted that we just saw. Twisted Meadows, by far the biggest map we have in the map pool. Echo Isles, by far the smallest. And yesterday, we mentioned it at the beginning of the series, yAwS was theory crafting some stuff, watching replays, watching his opponent's replays, checking out timings, scout timings, and I don't want to get our hopes up too high, but there might be something special in store. Let's see. So far we have the Archmage first and a greedy camp for Warchief to start.
That is right. For the humans, they usually go for a very fast expansion here in Echo Isles because it's so nearby, the creep spot is so easy to take, and yeah, the humans really rely on their expansions. There's 2 ways for the Night Elf to deal with it. Either you try to push it very early and tear it down, or you expand yourself, and I guess that's exactly what Warchief is doing. He's planning 2 wisps, so this might be the wisp who builds the expansion. He's going for the mercenary camp to get the priest, but yAwS is nearby. He knows exactly what's coming, and there's no supply free. Oh, there is actually supply free for Warchief, but when is... Okay, there's the Shadow Priest. Warchief got the Shadow Priest. Very big one. I think one of yAwS's plan was to steal this one, but once again, Warchief was prepared for that.
Yeah, there's a peasant in position, and he was supposed to steal it, but it's gone. Of course, once you get tower rushed, you become more careful about being tower rushed again, and this may have been yAwS's plan, because usually Warchief, he always goes to 20 supply with all the wisps, so he cannot buy the Shadow Priest, but this time he's adapting, and usually he always blindly expands also. Yeah. So that exposes him to a lot of pressure, possibly from a tower rush. But now, with that Shadow Priest in tow, he's gonna be a lot stronger. In case you guys don't know, the Shadow Priest has 2 abilities. Heal, which we can see right here, the Demon Hunter being healed by him. And the second one is Abolish Magic. And it dispels debuffs and buffs, but it also deals a lot of damage to the summons. And the summons are, of course, Water Elementals, and they are the key, the strength of the human early on.
That's right, and we see it here. Militia coming from yAwS. He knows exactly what's going on, but there's no Tree of Life yet, so WarchiefRich did not invest his gold into his economy, so there is a lot of gold left for more units here. I think that this is not what yAwS is expecting, but there is a lumber mill, so definitely a tower with a level 2 Archmage here. He has this panel of energy, very good for him because he can spawn 1 more Water Elemental with that. And here we go again, tower rush by yAwS.
And the Demon Hunter is, by the way, pretty low from all the creeping. He's getting more mercenaries. He needs more support to fend off this tower rush. He got a Berserker. Can the Moonwells heal him back to full health? This will be important. Only 2 Moonwells, guys. We still have Warchief on tier 1. He's absolutely in defense mode. But the Demon Hunter is back pretty much to full HP, and the night just started. This will have to be a push that yAwS needs to hold until the day. Once it turns day, it turns around for him. And the Wisp detonates are so good. And the Water Elementals, man, they're already gone. And it's level 3 for the Demon Hunter. Not a good start for the German.
Yeah, yAwS not taking care of his priests at all. The towers will be teared down again. Mass repair coming, but it's not enough. The Berserker is dealing a lot of damage. Awesome leveling for the Demon Hunter. Almost level 3 Archmage, but he has no mana anymore for another Water Elemental to support him here. I think he needs more Militia or something, or Footman. He needs, yeah, just something.
Yeah, he's sending a Footman to the opponent mercenary camp. I think that's the plan, to steal something here, but the last tower falls.
Just too much damage. Once again, yAwS's game plan completely destroyed by WarchiefRich. This is not what he expected. This is not what he wanted. And yeah, Town Portal even. He loses his Town Portal. He invested a lot into this. He built the lumber mill, he pulled a lot of militia, that lost him some mining time here at the woods, and he lost his town point, that's another 350 gold. Huge advantage for WarchiefRich.
Absolutely, and he has utter map control right now, he can do what he wants. He actually buys the Boots of Speed from the marketplace, not something we see every day. And yeah, WarchiefRich is called the robot by many people, and he mostly plays the same, but right now here at WCA Pro Qualifier at Gamescom, he is adapting. He doesn't want to fall to the cheese that is a tower rush, and he defended it perfectly, and now he's in a magnificent position. And again, yAwS, plan B, when the first one doesn't work, you try to expand, but Warchief is on his heels.
Yeah, once again, yAwS not taking care of this Shadow Priest. He needs him so bad to heal his units up. Finally level 3 for the Archmage. Where's the level 2 Water Mantle? There it is. No Dispel for Warchief. Okay, there is another Shadow Priest with mana. He can do it. Oh, yAwS doing the Berserker! Yeah. Warchief's pickups are just so good, man. Level 3.5 already. Now he's chasing the Shadow Priest. Mana burning him, and the archers will do the fatal damage. Here it is. No Mountain King, of course, so no stun, so no surround on the Demon Hunter.
That was a very unfortunate ensnare by the creeps onto yAwS's units. The most valuable, the Berserker, got ensnared, and that's why he died, so that's definitely unlucky. But Rich also taking very good advantage, of course. Now the Demon Hunter is dropping low in HP, but as you said, there's no Bolt, no Slow, no nothing, so he has the Boots of Speed. He can be microed to the fullest. And he's dealing more damage here. He doesn't want to retreat just yet, and we see a counter expansion from Rich already. No tech just yet, but the pressure continues. But yAwS should stabilize here.
Yeah, it's very hard, of course. I think he will go for Masonry upgrade soon, but he needs his towers up first. One guard tower is coming. Yeah, this will be very, very hard for him. I think there will be more mercenary support for Warchief soon. The expansion is halfway through. Demon Hunter healed up. Claws of attack for him and the staff, so he's very, very mobile. He can teleport around the map, the ring of protection, so he can tank a lot of damage. This is an great inventory for the Demon Hunter.
And the way this matchup is supposed to work, to be even, is that the human needs to get an economic advantage because he will have the tech disadvantage. Because humans stay on tier 2, Night Elves go to tier 3. But the way it is right now, yAwS does not have that advantage. His expansion will be faster, yes, but by only like a minute at the most. And he will invest into a lot of defensive buildings here, towers, namely, and they are also gonna be building up the cost. And the Demon Hunter is pressuring again, and he needs to invest more to defend here. Rich doesn't want to kill, he just wants to drain his opponent's resources. But he's got such a strong force, it looks like yAwS cannot deal with it. And here we go, we have our mascot coming in, Muddy the Mud Golem, ladies and gentlemen. And he may try to, he's going to try to aid in this defense and to repel Warchief.
Yeah, slow on the Demon Hunter, so he can't run away that easily. And more militia support coming. The police is coming, trying to deal with the archers. But that mass piercing damage, man, level 4 on the Demon Hunter now. The Berserker is doing such an awesome job. And Warchief's expansion is up and almost running.
Yeah, and yAwS only has one tower remaining, so he has to get new ones, and he has to build them with the gold peons. So that costs even more resources. Rich is doing a fantastic job of keeping his opponent down. Like, the human wants to hit a timing here. He wants to tech to tier 2 and go with mortar teams and spellbreakers and priests and sorceresses and the Mountain King most likely. And that's like 70 to 80 supply. And usually the Night Elf by then hasn't reached his full potential yet. He's on tier 3, yes, with a second hero, yes. But maybe that second hero is not level 3 and he's not going to be at 80 food. And that is when the human tries to hit that critical timing that can win him the game. But the way he's being delayed here, there's no chance of that happening.
Yeah, that's right. You can throw that timing out the window, definitely. At least he has his level 3 Archmage now, but still no mana. He's always spawning that Water Mantle. He's losing a bit cooldown from time to time. And here it is. Panda and Brewmaster once again. Breath of Fire, so good against low HP units, so good against the towers, of course. And if this guy reaches level 3, it's gonna be a hard time for yAwS.
Yeah, and the Demon Hunter level 4 man, he can just keep yAwS busy. yAwS basically can't creep, well he can, but he might lose stuff for it. And he definitely cannot go out on the map, because then he will just be eaten alive by the Night Elves army. So that means the Night Elves have utter map control, and he can take advantage of this by creeping most of the map, by getting more experience for his hero. And by the way, What's the specialty of yAwS, my friend?
yAwS, ladies and gentlemen, has only one shop, so it's always a fight for the heal scrolls, for the invo potions, and map control is so important on this map, maybe the most important thing here on yAwS, and we see it on the inventory of the Panda. 2 heal scrolls already, yAwS has none. That's a lot of healing coming in later on, I guess. But yeah, that unique creep spot went to the Panda. yAwS is trying to get that second unique creep spot here at the marketplace, but WarchiefRich knows exactly what's going on, and once again he kills that Shadow Priest.
Yeah, as I said, like, this Demon Hunter is just too strong right now. He's playing it very well, he's keeping tabs on yAwS again, like he did on Twisted Meadows, and he's not giving him any breathing space. That is the way you're supposed to play it. You get an advantage, and you don't need to win right then, but you need to play to your advantage. You need to pressure him, and you need to take advantage of weaknesses. And right now yAwS is weak, so when he goes out, you just go towards him, and either he runs away or you kill his stuff. Yeah. Both of those are good for you. And yeah, Panda already level 2. If he finishes the creep camp, he's almost level 3, and it's shaping up great for Warchief here for the late game. Yeah. I don't know, yAwS, he cannot play the standard. He needs to do something else here. He's not gonna win a straight up game. Maybe air lane with tier 3 Griffins. That sounds really wacky, but he cannot win the standard way. I really don't think so.
He is going double Arcane Sanctum, and yAwS is a very good Blizzard player. He knows exactly when to cast the Blizzards, where to cast the Blizzard, so that may be his chance in the late game, but of course Warchief knows how to deal with it. Archmage in trouble, there's no shop yet. Mass build coming. But yeah, that might be yAwS's only chance, the Clap Blizzard combo later on.
Yeah, that is very strong, that is true. But usually you still have an advantage with that, like a supply advantage, or fighting in your towers. When there's so many bears, it still takes forever to kill them. Oh, surround now finally on the Demon Hunter, yes, but he has a staff, but he cancels the building anyways and runs away.
Wow.
He's just not getting punished at all, and honestly, he can't. There's no bolt or anything. Only now, well, no, tier 2 has been reached for yAwS for a long time, as we can see from the Double Sanctum and the Workshop, but still no second hero.
That's right, no Mountain King in production, nothing. What we saw, yAwS went to the shop, Invo Potion and a heal scroll, he stole it now, but there is a level 3 Panda. And yeah, especially against casters, if there's no spell breakers to block and mana burn the Panda, that is so hard for him. Additional gold for Warchief, he found the Scroll of Healing, sold it immediately, and there will be Master Bear soon because Warchief is about to hit tier 3.
And now the Demon Hunter, as we said, shop control so important on Echo. Going down here to buy something, but he sees, alright, everything has been sold out, everything's on cooldown. yAwS was able to get 1 invul and 1 Scroll of Healing, very important. Do we finally have the MK? No. Well, he wants to stay in no upkeep, so that makes sense. But
Naga again.
It's a Naga, and now he's going above 50. But he has basically no lumber to support this. He cannot start full-on production.
That's right. Big issue for yAwS. There's no Shredder to hire on this map because there's no Goblin Laboratory, and so he needs to produce more workers, and that costs him some more time. He's down to 400 gold now, 60 food. What is Warchief doing? 62 food. Looking good for him again. Okay, here are Master Bears. 1 Gyrocopter already to scout, but Panda catches him immediately.
And also Invisibility Potion on the Demon Hunter. Scouting the human, excuse me, and he sees, alright, this is more than 50 supply, you're starting to produce? Alright, I start to produce as well. Yeah. And he's going upkeep himself. And as I said before, many times now, the human wants to have the supply advantage. It's not gonna happen this game. Warchief is gonna have everything in position to defend. And usually the human is going to be the aggressor in this matchup. And I think yAwS is going to do it as well. He knows that yAwS says that once the armies become big and once I have everything available to me, like, you know, Clap, Bolt, Fog, Lightning, Blizzard, Mortars and Slow and Invisibility, all that stuff, he says that is where he's strongest. He says that is where he can really shine and outplay his opponents. So maybe he thinks, alright, I am at a disadvantage, but I'm going to play my favorite type of game, where I feel best. So, like, that's the way you have to think of it as a competitive player. You cannot go into this saying, alright, basically I can't win this anymore anyways. You have to find your chance. And I think that's what he's thinking right now. He thinks, alright, I go for a big army, and I can out-micro you. I know you're good, but it can work out in my favor.
I don't really get the Naga now. Maybe he just wanted to get some time, because the Mountain King would of course take a lot of time to produce here at the tavern. One more heal scroll and the Invo potion for the Demon Hunter, who is level 4. But yeah, the Naga.
I think the choice, the reason why he chose this was because he knows that the most of the map is going to be crept, so it's not secure that he can be level 3 with the MK by the time the first fight happens.
That's right.
And MK before level 3 is really, really underwhelming.
Just a big footman.
Yeah, that might be the case.
Yeah, the Naga found 2 claws of attack. It's plus 15 now. So she becomes kind of a damage dealer. Some people underestimate her and the damage of the arrows, but it's quite okay. And of course, in combination with the mortar teams, with a 1-0 upgrade, that's a lot of damage coming from yAwS. No level 3 water elementals yet, but that will change in a second. WarchiefRich is coming, immediately scouted by yAwS, but maybe he wants to tower rush Warchief here, and he does. But now, strange positioning, of course.
It's going to be reverse pressure. yAwS wants to pressure in the meantime. Rich is going to pressure himself. And like it's going to be Siege Bears versus Mortar teams.
Yeah.
What destroys faster? I'm not entirely sure. Mortar teams are laying into the buildings already. One Moonwell is down, and immediately for the Tree of Life we go. By the way, also one Chimera,
wow.
2 in fact, and on the way already. Both players in high upkeep, but the expansion for yAwS is already gone. The Bears, the Siege Bears, they just munched through it, but so is the Nightclub's expansion. Yeah. We're back to 1 base, people. We're at high upkeep for both players. Well, actually, no, we're not anymore, but we're still at large armies, and we're back to 1 base. The Chimeras are gonna come out, I think.
Yeah,
he can focus the roosts with the Mortar teams, and he needs to do that right now.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's gonna be so close. There's not a lot anti-air for yAwS, but he gets the Chimera. Very big move for him, but yAwS is losing all his production buildings here. 2 Arcane Sanctums plus the workshop. He needs to rebuild it very, very soon in his main base, or he's kept at 75 food here. Second Chimera Roost is going down as well, but Warchief can't produce either. All the Moonwells are down. 1 Chimera got out, saved immediately by Warchief. Yeah, we only have the 2 heroes as the anti-air and the water elementals. Of course, Priest and Sox can attack as well, but they don't do much damage. The Berserker maybe, but that's not enough, I guess, for the Chimps. But it's only 1, so that was very important for the Chief, for yAwS, of course.
All right, now finally we have base defense for WarchiefRich. He TP'd home.
There's 3 heal scrolls for Chief, only
Panda,
1 for yAwS.
The Panda is 50 XP away from level 5.
Yeah. And the Breath of Fire hits so hard on level 3.
We have no TP, by the way, for yAwS. If he loses this and there's no way out, he's probably going to lose the game. Demon Hunter right up in the front. Naga already all over mana is gone. First Breath of Fire is pretty nice, but not the most amazing we've ever seen. Demon Hunter getting focused still. Invul now used. The Archmage just ran out of mana as well. Level 5 for the Panda. He's positioning himself next to the casters. Drunken Ace, Breath of Fire, so much damage. Scroll of Healing coming in to counter the damage. The Mortar team's in a pretty good position actually, not being touched too much, but the Bears are still pretty much all alive.
Looking okay for yAwS, but now the level 5 Demon Hunter is still in problems, getting hit and hit and hit. But yeah, the Chim is down, the Gyrocopters catched her. More Bears coming from the base, I guess. Bear down here, level 3 for the Naga. There is no mana anymore on the Panda, and I think the fight for yAwS is looking pretty well. 62 food versus 57, but now he's trapped there at the mercenary camp, getting reinforcements. Mana burn once again, no more water elemental. Is he trying for the hero focus once again? Yeah, there is no healing anymore. Warchief used all 3 heal scrolls, no Invo potion, nothing, but there is a staff to save him.
But now everything here can be slowed and the Bears can be kited, but yAwS is against, well, the back of the map basically. He can't kite backwards much more. The Naga needs to be really careful. She's being microed back, and more mercenaries coming in for the German, trying to save his game. Next Breath of Fire, triple kill for the Panda, and the Demon Hunter is coming in, level 5, full hit points, right onto the Naga we go. She's trapped, she can't get out, she's being hit, and she's gonna die.
But the
second hero dies.
The Panda in trouble, but there's level 6, ultimate, no staff, GG by yAwS, and Warchief takes the so important 2-0 win over the German. He was so nervous before, I guess. This match was so important to him. The first map went absolutely fluently. The second map was a little shaky, I guess, but still very, very good play for Warchief.
And I think yAwS still showed that he's one of the top players. He was so far behind that game, but he managed to get to late game. That's what he likes. And he almost made it work. They traded expansions, and then there was this one decisive fight. And like seriously, if the Panda had no more breath, like he
Yeah.
had one breath, and I think that breath kind of turned the game. Of course, the
breath
Demon
was
Hunter
absolutely perfect.
was coming
breath of
back
fire.
in again,
Yeah.
so that was another issue. But he
course-
made it close.
Of course, a big weakness to have no Mountain King here. With a Mountain King, you could have Storm Bolted the Panda and delay that Breath of Fire, reposition yourself and counter it with that. But yeah.
But still, very impressive performance by yAwS. I think this bodes well. Many people now rate him as by far the biggest underdog here. He is a replacement, of course. But I think, you know, it's his first game. He now is in the groove.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the last game for today. He's going to continue playing tomorrow. But I think he's, of course, not going to be satisfied. But, you know, there's potential and there's room to grow. And I think he can still do it, definitely.
Okay, let's hear from the winner. We'll give up to the stage to Yash and WarchiefRich.
Thank you, gentlemen. WarchiefRich, you've done it. 2-0 victory, very significant today. I want to talk about that tower rush at the beginning from your opponent. When that happened, did you think to yourself, oh no, or did you think, oh, I totally got this?
I was quite worried, to be honest. I mean, since it was close position on Total Rock and I saw so many footmen, I kind of thought maybe it was coming. I thought it was either that or Rifle Caster. But when it came, yeah, I just do what I normally do and just make a ton of Ancient Wars and just try and kill all the towers before they finish.
Yeah, let's try that again in game 2. It was a little bit more back and forth, but in the end, when you got that triple kill with the Panda, was that the moment that you knew you had it in the bag?
I was surprised by how close that game was after I defended that tower rush, because after that I thought I definitely won it, and then that end battle there, I almost lost it, really. I mean, if I had like one less scroll or something, I probably would have lost that game. And yeah, when I saw he didn't have TP and I knew I could start my heroes out, I thought, okay, now I've got it.
Yeah. We hit level 5 with the Panda just in time, got the ultimate, and definitely sealed the deal there. What are you going to do in preparation for your next matches, which I believe are on Saturday?
Well, I'm going to be watching the next matches closely because I'm not 100% sure if I will be in the upper bracket or loser bracket. It really depends on the others' results. So I'll see what happens there, and then just try my best. Just got to take it one match at a time.
All right, well done. Congratulations again on your victory. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get set up for Hearthstone. And then after that, Heroes of the Storm. You're watching the WCA 2015 European Pro Qualifier live from Gamescom 2015. Stay tuned.